So the father, Brother Clarence 13X, he called the black woman Earth. You know, good call. Because it didn't just pop in his head, oh, you know what, I'm going to call her Earth. No, he got it from the Most High Elijah Muhammad. When we look at this book, Message to the Black Man, the Most High Elijah Muhammad says on page 58, the title entitled, The Black Woman, the messenger says, the woman is man's field to produce his nation. If he does not keep the enemy out of his nation, he won't produce a good nation. He goes on to say, we love our vegetable crops, and we will go out and turn up the leaves on that vegetable stalk to look carefully for worms or anything eating and destroying the vegetables. And he says when we find it, we kill it. Again, he says we go out into the cotton fields and look for the enemies of our cotton to try and kill that enemy. We study certain poisons and chemicals that we can pour onto these chemicals, the messenger said, and it kills any type of enemies or predators. He said, until we learn to love and protect our women, we will never be fit and recognized or a recognized people on earth. The white people among you will never recognize you until you protect your woman. These are just some of the stuff I'm just skimming through as the messenger teaches. He says, she is your first teacher. She is your first nurse. Your first lesson comes from your mother. If you don't protect your mother, how do you think you look in the eyes of other fellow human beings? He says, Allah, God himself, has said that we cannot return to our own land until we first have a thorough knowledge of ourselves. This is reiterated again in the problem book. One of our scientists, Osman Sharif, says the same exact words. He says even animals and beasts, the fowl of the air, have more love and respect for their females than the so-called Negroes of America. So the father called the black woman Earth. But as the messenger knew that the black woman was more than just a mere earth, the father knew that as well. The father, I wanted to read an article from out of the 5%er paper, as we call the power paper. That's 5%ers. This is a very interesting article, and the brothers can go pull it up. In the 5%er article paper, it says, in 1969, there was one sister in the cipher who said she was God. She has had many names, but her name at this time was Tawana. She lived with my earth, Cee-I, who was 16, with a 3-year-old daughter named Vaconia. Cee-I had been through a lot in her young life. They both got put in a psychiatric ward for telling the police that they were gods. Think about that. The sister got out in a week's time, but they kept Cee-I at Creedmoor in Queens because she had been in Rockland State as a child. The father, Allah, would always ask me, how was Cee-I? And tell me to go see her. When the other sister got out, we would bomb her because she still called herself a god. Well, we wanted to see if she would tell the father, if she would tell Allah the Father that she was a god. And sure enough, she told Allah or the Father, I'm God. Woo! She told the Father that she was a god. Old man Justice was there and added, she's more than a god. She's more God than some of you men. It says the father looked at her. Then he turned around and looked at old man Justice and said, she ain't no god. She's a goddess. This was the first time and only time I ever heard him call a woman a goddess. That sister is still around today. I heard the father call woman, a few other things, but that's another story. Cie stopped calling herself God as soon as I saw her and turned and talked to her. Cie taught me a lot about the streets, and she taught me how to play kunkan, or I guess that was a game back in the late 50s or 60s, late 60s. We broke up, and she had another child in the 1970s who she named Son. She said she wanted to name him after me, but she knew I wouldn't like that. In 1971 or 1972, she got with a brother who beat her to death when she tried to stop him from hitting her children. So that was the sister's ultimate demise. But despite everything else in that whole article, I just want to zero in on something that's very important, because it is a known fact among the 5%ers. I'm not talking about the Nation of Islam now. I'm talking about the 5%ers in the nation of gods and earths. It is emphatically now cipher to call a woman anything other than earth. She's not a god. But here you have the elders calling the black woman a goddess. The father said she was a goddess. Now that's something that's woo. You know, what did the father mean by teaching that? In our study guides, Minister Farrakhan, he breaks down the M.G.C. and he gives a deeper meaning and understanding to that. But I'm going to close out soon because I don't want to be go over my time. But just real quickly, it says, Maryam was a woman that was screened. Maryam was a woman that screened herself from men. That is something very hard for a woman to do. You know, in the Quran, it says that the angels even argued amongst themselves that who would give birth to the Messiah. Who would give birth to him? And because she was such a holy and devout, pious woman, she was given the duty of bringing the God, or born in the God, back into existence. We mentioned the number 19, as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. You have heard 9 is a number of completion. This is according to our mathematics of Islam. So I just want the brothers in the nation of gods and earths to know that in the nation of Islam, 9 represents born as well. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that. He just didn't say born, but he said completion. This is what 9 represents in our teachings in the nation of Islam. 9 is the number of completion. It represents, of course, the 9 planets in our solar system. It represents the female who's carrying a life to term, which is 9 months. If you look at the numbers, you see 19 in the Quran. So knowledge born. You know, the knowledge has to born in order to bring God back into existence in this physical cipher of existence that we live in. So black women are not the keepers of culture. We fat her with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, or the divine seed of revelation or understanding of who God is. The black woman does not keep, she is not the keeper of that. She has to come among a man to be taught that. This is the reason why she represents the earth or the moon, because she is a reflection of yourself. So if I come in your house or come around you one day and I ever see your woman in the kitchen or in the house acting all ratchet, in the Bible the word is wretched, but we say today ratchet. It ain't no need for me to, talk to you, because I already know what you are. I already know what you're about. She's using foul language. She's using drugs. She's, walking the streets half naked. Ain't no need for me to come build with you, because I already know who you are. All I got to do is look at your reflection in this mirror of who you are. It's just that simple. So the woman is a woman who is supposed to be chaste, modest, screened, covered up, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually as well. Because the devil will creep among the woman and impart or whisper, as the Quran says, the whisperer in the ears of the woman. He whispers in her ears and makes evil suggestions, subtle evil suggestions. And this is the reason why in the Bible, he's a serpent in the beginning of the book. But at the end of the book, he's grown now into a dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns. So black women will let culture slip away from them. And we see that today. The black woman is the head of the household. 65, almost 70% of families now. The woman is the teacher or the parent, the main parent. Ain't no man there. But look at our young boys. To all of my comedic family out there who like to say, the black woman is God, the black woman is God. No, the black man ain't God, the black woman is God. Well, look at your God. What's up with your God? The black woman can get rid of homosexuality overnight if she wanted to. Overnight. But no, she thinks it's cute, to have, this faggot homosexual around her. Yeah, girl, yeah. She thinks it's cute. She doesn't see no harm in that. She doesn't see no harm in her children or her boys putting on her clothes, wearing her shoes, putting on her lipstick, putting on her eyeliner, just for fun. Oh, they're having fun. They're kids. Leave them alone. The black woman, the white man uses the black woman as a tool to get in among the original nation and destroy our crops. This is what he's been doing ever since the plantation. Before the plantation, on the slave ships, the black woman gave herself up first and was like, look, just stop it. Stop the killing. Stop everything. She didn't want to see no more bloodshed, no more nothing. She was willing to do whatever the white man said to do, no matter what it was. Meanwhile, the black man, every time we were down in those hulls of those ships, every time he let us up a little bit to stretch and move, we already had a plan conjured up, waiting to murder this cracker. We understand the dangers of people instilling their thoughts and ideas, foreign people, a grafted people, into our community. We see the danger in that. The black woman don't see it. This is the reason why black women, pervade the church today. You see more black men in the masjid and the synagogue, Hebrew Israelites or Muslims or whatever. But the black women, they stay in that church. They stay in that church because it's all about allurement. Allah says in the Quran, be not dismayed. This world is a transitory world. Don't get caught up in stuff that you see. But the black woman is caught up in what she sees. She's caught up in the emotion. So when the black man says, yo, it's time to take this devil off the planet, the black woman is in the way like, no, stop this fighting, stop this violence, stop it, stop. Her emotions won't allow her to see this enemy die. She wants to keep him around so she can rock his Louis bags and his Fendi and his Prada and his Cartier and his, all of his homosexual clothing that he gives her to put on, walking her, half nude. They don't see no problem in that. None at all. So family, I don't want to make this too long. There's a lot more to be said on this bill, but I just wanted to kind of, give a introductory bill to just the teachings of the 5%ers in the 5% Nation of Islam and what we teach concerning the black woman. Knowledge and wisdom are both intertwined. So whether you put knowledge before the wisdom or you put wisdom before the knowledge, they're both really one. Because once that wisdom or once the black woman is to the level or the standard that now she represents a righteous nation, as we know, a righteous nation, a wise people, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad judges a nation according to the standard of the female. This is how they judge us. So when they see your woman acting ratchet, they know that you're a sick people, a ratchet people. That's just what we are. Because look at our mothers. Look at our women. My god brother, Black God Ra, he made a good point too. He mentioned, you don't see other races. The Chinese woman, you don't see her hanging around a bunch of fags and transsexuals. You don't see the Indian women hanging around a bunch of fags and you don't see African women. But you come over here to America, black women, we keep them, that's how, yeah, girl, yeah. She's not even acting like a high civilization woman, but the faggots and stuff are acting like the most wretched, the most ratchet of females. As a black woman, I would feel disrespected. If you want to imitate me, act like an intelligent me. Don't act like a ghetto me, a gossiping ghetto, No. So we are the ones to teach her culture. Cee-I-Power-Her. The black man has strength over the black woman mentally, physically, and spiritually. And so this is the reason why we are gods over the black woman, because we see a sign of that. I think Dr. Wesley Muhammad mentioned that, I heard in a bill one time, in terms of our strength. In order to, when a decree of law is sent down, you need force and power in order to enforce that law. So we are physically stronger than women, mentally and spiritually stronger than women. So this is the reason why we power her. Cee-I-Power-Her. Because if I let her go off onto her own, the devil got free control. So what is this whole thing about in this universe? It's all about who can gain control of the woman. Whoever gets control of the black woman is the winner at the end of the day in this universal race. Right now, the white man is in control of the black woman. When you watch Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop and all these, it's not a coincidence all of these shows are showing the most ratchet of black women. It's not a coincidence. They're teaching the black woman. Black women go off of almost like monkey see, monkey do. This is black women. They don't understand what is harmful to culture. So they'll gravitate towards that because, oh, it's cute. Oh, that's fly. I like that. Yeah. Ooh, she acted. Ooh, she told her. I like that old ratchet stuff. Ooh. And they'll teach that to their babies. They'll give their babies poisonous food to eat without doing the knowledge, without looking within first, studying that, and then teaching it. So it's up to the black man, the God, to lay down law, retribution, and teach the black woman, how to be a God just like us. Because that's what she is. So as I close, family, during your first 9 months of gestation or being born, your woman, yeah, she can rise above you. That moon can rise above you, sure, during your first 9 months, because, at the end of the day, that's the first God we know. It's mama. We don't know of no other God. But in all cultures, we see that around 12, 13, the boys are taken away from their mother. And they're placed around men, in a cipher of men. So now we could teach them how to be men. You see what I'm saying? So it's just that simple, family, But without being too long, I want to be a respecter of time at the end of the day, because I have to get things going and get things started myself. So, family, I hope you enjoyed the bill. Leave comments if you have any disagreements about what I said, But this is definitely a topic I'm going to revisit again. It'll probably be under another title, but it's definitely something that is worthy of, revisiting, because the pseudoscience and these fake scholars out here and these, wannabe gods out here and these wannabe teachers. Stop it, man. Stop it. So with that being said, family, I leave you as I came in the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to the gods and peace to the earths.